Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and today I'm very excited to be unboxing Southern Skeins Quarterly Notion Box with you once again. So this is the box for quarter 3. So quarter 1 was a little, I'll be honest, mid. Quarter 2, really love what we got. And quarter 3, I think we're going to have a lot more fun with. To be honest, I really like what we got this quarter. So if you are not familiar, Southern Skeins is a small indie company. As with other subscription box reviews, as I say with these indie companies, we're looking 10 to 12% off, not 25% off that we would expect to see from much larger companies like Hirschner's or Annie's Attic or any of the other companies that either can provide their own yarns or, it is harder and harder to find those larger companies doing subscription boxes now. A lot of them have discontinued them, but they are still out there. Or there are some that just buy bulk big box yarn and give you a pattern. So yeah, I kind of expect more of a discount, but we are with Southern Skeins. We're dealing with a company that dyes their own yarn. They do in-house leather work, in-house 3D printing, in-house laser etching. And I believe with this quarter, they have either made or had made our main project, which would have been a sewing project. So I'm very curious. I did not reach out to Jenna and ask her any questions. As always, I try to handle most of these pretty blind. I 100% purchased this with my own money. I'm trying to ascertain whether or not spending our money at these places is a good value for us as crafters. That's actually the entire foundation of this channel. The whole reason why I started making videos on YouTube to begin with was understanding the value of subscription boxes, because I was seeing people ask all the time, was Knit Crate worth it? Was Darn Good Yarns really worth it? Was this worth it? Was that worth it? Unfortunately, we've lost most of those early subscription boxes now. I have gotten a request to revisit again one of those early subscription boxes because they've had some major company changes, but that will be a 2027 consideration. So, what did we get this quarter from our Southern Skeins subscription box? First off, the thing that had me mega excited was this bag. Now, in researching the bag, and this has another leather zipper pull here, I was able to find the raw fabric for $26 a yard. That's all I was able to find. So this clearly is not like a mass-produced product. This is something that either they had made or made themselves in-house. And we have an excellent zipper, by the way, on this thing. I was super excited to see this. One of my favorite prints is obviously strawberry print. Well, probably not obvious to y'all. I love springy, happy, fun, whimsical prints in general. Bees, strawberries, cherries. I got hearts on my dress. Like I really enjoy fun prints. So I do really like this. And this is a very heavy canvas. It is not an oiled canvas, but it is definitely a heavy canvas material. So definitely love the bag straight out of the gate. And I did think it was cute that I wish they matched perfectly, but the pouch from last quarter and the tab kind of go together. So I was like, maybe these would go together for me. Next up, we have a 20-gram mini, and that 100% is not showing up on screen nearly as dimensional and beautiful as it is in person. This is a blue yarn that looks like it's been overdyed with a deep, deep, deep royal purple color. It doesn't in person read as truly tonal. It definitely reads more overdyed. The loose fibers almost have a little bit of a purple haze to them. So this is one of those, like, the purple is bleeding through the blue, even though the purple is the dominant color when you look at them because it's the deeper color. I don't know. It just is such a rich tonal look in person. I wish I wish that's something that would read better on screen. Up next, we have our stitch marker holder here that has been personalized. And we have 6 stitch markers. They are spring themed, and I do love the attention to detail. This one over here, number 1, is done front and back on a glittered piece of wood, or they've painted, no, 3D printed. Wow. It looks glittery. These are 3D printed. 3D printed this flower, put it on a different color light bulb marker from all the other ones. So it can be used as a beginning of the round marker or a measurement marker, but it's a standalone separate marker from all of the other ones, which I really appreciate having, because I do tend to use those not as a beginning of the round marker all the time, but I do use them as measuring points frequently, because I frequently just need to measure like the shorter distance. I don't need to measure a whole project. Anyway, for me, that's extremely useful. And again, this is on another heavy clippy clasp. So I'm not worried about like this falling apart. And this is not a jump ring, which is, I have seen, unfortunately, with some of these where they've been put on jump rings. And to me, that just doesn't seem particularly safe or secure. So anyway, I ran the numbers on this, and the price for this per quarter is $45. It's $8 shipping to me. So the total for me is $53. On average, a bag of this size from, like, say, a maker on Etsy runs between $25 and $30. That's not including having a leather pull on the zipper. The marker holder runs $10 to $11 from other makers who do the wood etched, laser etching. The stitch markers run $1.50 to $2.25 across multiple different makers. And these are very similar designs and stuff, like nothing overly intricate or anything. There was a huge price range on those. I was kind of surprised at how people price those at such huge ranges. And of course, we got 6 of the markers. The 20-gram mini averages $4.50 to $6. Again, these are kind of like the middle, most common numbers that were popping up. There were a couple of people that had their minis for $2, which I just don't know how you can justify that for a 20-gram mini, because unless it's a leftover from a project and maybe you just want to recoup some cost, and you're selling your leftovers, not actual minis. And there are some people selling their superwash merino blend minis for $10. So I really was trying to pick the right in the middle. You know, if I'd read the card, I probably would have had a lot more answers here. Summertime in Florida is full of strawberries and strawberry festivals. That was my inspiration. July's treat includes a hand-drawn strawberry design bag. Okay, so that would be why it sold out and why it was $26 a yard, which will hold a 2 skein project. Dave made the Italian leather wristlet to match. We took some of our favorite summertime items and made stitch markers for you. Bulb markers included for our crochet BFFs. To top it off, a customized stitch marker holder. I love these because they keep me from hunting for my markers. Yeah, exactly. I love the holders. I have a couple of different varieties now. I use them constantly. So very useful. Yeah, so the fact this was sold out, that would explain why. Anyway, $25 to $30 on average for the bag. Marker holder, $10 to $11. Markers, $1 to $2. Skein, blah, blah, blah. So that left our totals. Low-end retail average estimate was $48.50. High-end retail estimate was $60.50 for this month's box. That makes the average between the two $54.50, which gives us 12% saved over the average retail price across the board. So again, they were moving warehouses and everything at the beginning of the year. And I understand, like, having to, like, you've decided to do all this, thought you were going to have more time and trying to slam something through. And I think part of the reason why, like, I was personally a little frustrated is knowing how much they do in-house, from their t-shirt line to 3D printed yarn bowls and everything else. They really do offer good quality things at very reasonable prices when you look at like the retail market or yarn store markets or festival markets across the board. So the first one I was a little, like I said, it was a mid box. I wasn't thrilled. I really didn't like the value of it. Last month, where we got the little leather pouch and the ruler and stuff, like those things, I've actually been using the ruler to measure where I am from certain points. Because like when I'm doing my husband's socks, I will frequently be like, here, try this on. I want to make sure I'm getting the heel placement right. Okay, from where this marker is, I need another inch. And I've been using that to measure that like little extra inch. So it's actually come in very handy for me just to have that clip to my little wrister bags. So I've gotten a lot more use out of the second month, and I think it was like a negative 5% under retail. It was the estimated value. So it wasn't horrible or anything. We almost broke even with that one. But this one, getting a 12% savings, I definitely think kind of has saved everything. But I know they're working really hard to kind of feel out the balance with these boxes. This was something completely new for them to do as part of their subscription services. This is the first year they've done it. And I think with the move and everything being in such transition, getting things done and getting things out was a lot more than expected. So like I said, from the first one, I've gotten Southern Skeins before. I've gotten their monthly yarn subscription, which I loved. And they're one of my Just Yes companies. If they do like a mystery yarn box, they've done it a couple of times where they'll just like the seasonal leftovers do at a huge discount, mystery box style. I will order those because they dye a huge variety of styles of yarn. And almost everything they do is usable. Like they're not so out of this world that you're going to get something that's like a muddy mess. They're actually things that you will be able to use. And trust me, I've gotten mystery boxes from dyers where the yarn, eventually I'll find a project it works for, but it's so muddy. I can't even tell you what color is. Is it green? Is it brown? It just kind of looks like swamp water, brackish swamp water. So I've had that happen a couple of times, which is always very frustrating and disappointing. So I've never felt that way with Southern Skeins. They've always been somebody I could trust in a mystery box. So I was a little surprised with the first quarter box that it just didn't meet my expectations of what I know they can offer and what they have offered in the past with their subscription boxes and mystery boxes. So I'm glad to see, like, this month is really indicative more of what I expected to see. Last month was more indicative of what I expected to see overall in this box. So I think they finally have found homeostasis in their new warehouse and everything, which is a big deal. Moving warehouses when you have a small business is a big deal. Getting everything reset up, especially when you're doing so much of your stuff in-house. Like I said, they do leatherworking, 3D printing, and the laser etching all in-house. It is a huge accomplishment just to get the warehouse moved done and not have to close down business for 6 months. So I'm glad to see that we are now back to what I would have expected from the beginning. And I feel like they've now found their rhythm with the subscription box. So I'm happy overall. I will actually be taking this with me to the yarn festival that I'm going to this weekend. So I already have plans to immediately put this into use, which to me says quite a bit about how I feel about this. So I have a couple of things that I will be potentially using this to store for my trip. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. How did you feel about the theme and everything for this month? I have to say, monetarily speaking, the value 100% is there, and it's right in that sweet zone for what I would expect to see from an independent company. I don't feel like they're shorting themselves or shorting us. I think we're right in that sweet spot. So anyway, I loved this month. I've got to go get packing. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, fantastic day. As always, I look forward to seeing you real soon. Please take care of yourselves. Bye, you guys.